Good morning, everyone. Okay, please stand up and we will going to pray. Aguilar, could you lead the prayer? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, once again, good morning. Before you're going to sit, kindly pick up some trash under your chairs and align your chairs properly. Okay, you may take your seats. Now, let's check your attendance. When I call your name, say present. You understand? Okay. Aguilar, Alvarido, Borja, Buño, Cantiga, Caspe, Catan, Congreso, Core, and Cosi. Okay, very good because no one is absent today. So, how are you today? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling great, class? Okay, I'm glad to hear that you're all feeling great this day even though our weather is hot, okay? Before we go into proceed to our discussion, okay, first we will going to play. Are you ready to play or who wants to play? Okay, very good. So let's proceed. Our game for today is entitled Mini Banner Agree or Disagree. Okay, for our direction, the teacher, I, will give you two different colors of banner that represents the agree and disagree. So here they are. So blue is for agree and red for disagree. So all you have to do is when I read statement, you will choose between these colors of your answers reflects on what you feel, on what you think is your preferred answer to that specific statement. And then, for you to be able to raise your banners, I will give you 3 seconds to think about it. And then when I say banners up, you will going to raise your banner at once, okay? Then, from that, I will randomly select 2 students to explain their response to each statement, okay? Are you ready? Okay. So question number 1. Social media influences students' attitude towards learning. So, do you agree or disagree? In 3, 2, 1. Banners up. Okay. All of you raise their blue banner. So, it means you disagree to this, or you agree rather to this statement. So, Bunyo, please stand up. Okay, don't be nervous. So, Bunyo, please explain your response. Why you raise your blue banner. Okay, very good. You may sit down. So, how about Katan? Okay. Okay, so very good. You may take your seats. So, social media has a effect. Okay, so your answers are correct because social media has a impact in terms of learning of the student. Why? Because students tend to choose to check their social media to entertain themselves by means of watching different videos or just to scroll rather than use their gadget to learn or to find something that is more important rather than to entertain themselves. So yes, social media really influence students' attitude towards learning. Okay, number 2. Having a positive attitude guarantees success in life. Do you agree or disagree? In 3, 2, 1, banners up. Okay, very good class because all of you raised their blue banner. So, now, let's call Congreso. Okay? Okay, very good. Okay, your answer is valid, so you may take your seat. How about Gossip? What is your answer? Okay, blue card. Can you explain it to the class? Okay, very good Gossip, you may take your seats. So, okay, having a positive attitude guarantees success in life. Why? Because when you react to a different situation or to a situation with a positive attitude, this will reflect to your activity or on what you are doing, because since you have a positive attitude, you have a clear mind to do different things accordingly. um, um, well, in fact, being negative and approaching different problems or perhaps scenarios, it doesn't make you, or it will not help you to go to a success in life while you have a negative mindset or negative attitude towards it. So positive attitude guaranteed success in life. So for example, you in this day, you are tasked to do something that is serious. For example, project. Teacher gave you a project that within this day you have to do it. Then the next day you will pass it, or you have to pass it. Then if you have a positive attitude, even though there are different challenges that you can face within the day, you will see the brighter side of it. For example, uh, you experience a blackout, since there are because the electric connection has a problem on that time. So what will you do if you have no connection in the uh, in the what do you call this, in the power supply? What will you do? Do you do you respond negatively or positively? Yes, the power is important, especially when you're doing something, as well as your comfort. And since we are in the Philippines, we experience the hot season, or the heat season rather, this is very important. But since you are doing your task, maybe or somehow this will affect your study, but if you have a positive attitude, you will look something in order to do your activity even though you have no power on your in your house. Okay, but if you think it negatively, if you respond to this scenario negatively, then your performance will be affected, your activity will be affected. So maybe your activity within the day will not accomplish in the right time, and of course you will experience the stress of not accomplishing your activity on time. So it is important that you have a positive attitude when facing different scenarios, different challenges in everyday situation, even though even if your day is good, even you experience bad scenarios or bad events in your day or in a specific time. So positive attitude guarantees success in life. And question is, people should only pursue career they are passionate about. Do you agree or disagree? In 3, 2, 1, banners up. Okay, some of you raised their banner with color blue and some are red. So let's ask Cantiga and Bunyo, since Cantiga raised his blue banner. So Cantiga, please explain your answer. Okay, very good. And how about Bunyo? Why did you raise your red banner? Okay, so class, people should only pursue careers they are passionate. Yes, it is important, because I believe as well that doing what you want will make the work even better, rather than doing a work that you didn't like. Okay, it is a different story. Because if you enjoy, or if you want that a specific job or the activity, you will enjoy it. At the same time, you will feel happy and fulfilled while doing it. But as per Cantiga or Bunyo said earlier, because he raised his red banner, it is not always happening to every person. Yes, because hindi naman lahat ng tao is nakukuha kung ano yung passion and gusto nila. And syempre, nakakalungkot din yun, because we have different situation in life that napupunta tayo sa situation na far from from our passion. So, minsan, dahil sa kahirapan or other reasons kung bakit nalalayo tayo sa passion natin. And, kahit na, or even though mapunta tayo sa iba't ibang works or mga activity o sabihin nating works, we have to remember to enjoy pa din or to enjoy the work that we are doing, because perhaps this is the place that we actually go to, our purpose. This is our purpose, okay? So, sometimes, even though hindi natin nakuha yung gusto natin, it doesn't mean na wala nang, or hindi na natin makikita yung purpose natin sa ibang bagay. So, yan. So, tama naman si Bunya, may ano siya, meron siyang point. He has a point. And yes, it not always what we have or what we want is what will happen in the end. So ang ano lang naman, ang final ideas is, even though makuha mo man yung gusto mo or not, still make a way or find a specific thing that you will make this job or the activity fun, even though you don't like it, and especially if you like it, if you choose or if you gain or if you have those careers that you want. Okay, next question, number 4. Sino ba hindi ko natatawag? Okay, we have number 4. Teachers are responsible for making students interested in learning. Do you agree or disagree? 3, 2, 1, banners up. Okay, very good. All of you raise their blue banner. Okay. Alvarido, please explain. Okay, very good. You may take your seats. And Caspe, how about you? Okay, very good. You may take your seats. Okay, teachers are responsible for making students interested in learning. Yes, it is true. I am also agree with this statement, because a teacher has a big responsibility to catch the students' interest and focus so that they will learn or they will acquire knowledge in a certain topics that will help them to grow and develop, as well as to become a good person as they grow up and to become a more responsible citizen in the community. So, teachers are very responsible, or he has a big responsibility when managing students, that he have to observe and guide them to be better and to develop their skills, their talent, and so on and so forth. So, that is correct. Very good, class. And last but not the least is number 5. So, failure is necessary for personal growth and success. Okay, this is a good statement. Okay, so do you agree or disagree? Okay, and 3, 2, 1, banners up. Finally, ayan. So, okay, very good. All of you raise your blue flag. Okay, sino na lang ang hindi ko natatawag? Okay, we have Congresa and Borja. So, Congresa, can you explain, or could you explain your response? Okay. Okay, you may take your seats. Very good. How about Congresa? Okay, please stand up. Okay, very good. You may take your seats. So, yes, your answers are on point and correct. So, failure is necessary for personal growth and success. Why? Because failure teaches us new learning. Okay? It doesn't mean that you didn't want or didn't achieve your specific goal, is that you are already or you already failed in that kind of situation. Rather, failure is something that will help you to understand the situation deeply, to have a new learnings about it that will help you in the future, that the next time that it will happen, or a specific scenario will happen to you, you know the you know the things, or the thing that you have to perform in order to respond to that kind of event. So failure is necessary for personal growth and success. Okay, so we're very good. So class, give yourselves a round of applause since your answers are correct. So very good. Okay, now, okay, before we're going to proceed to our main topic, we will going to have a pre-test. Okay, in this pre-test, we are going to check your knowledge about our next topic. So I will give you the answer sheets, and you will have 5 minutes to answer that questions, and you will going to pass that papers forward. Okay? Okay, time is up. Can you pass your papers forward? Okay, now we will going to proceed to our lesson. So our new topic for today is entitled Authentic Assessment of the Affective Domain. Okay, class, once again, what is authentic assessment? Okay, very good. Authentic assessment is assessing one's behavior and how he react in a real life situation. So authentic assessment is referring to the behavior of a person on how he react. Yes, as you said earlier. Okay, and now we will going to focus on the affective domain, which is the values or the character of the students. Okay, class, are you ready to listen? Okay, so authentic assessment of the affective domain measures student values, attitude, emotions, and social behaviors in real life context. So our focus is to assess or identify the behavior of the student and to determine the different attitudes of the student, so that we will have the idea on their differences on, as a teacher or as a future teacher, what is the approaches on what we will going to do to help them develop their attitude or their behavior, and also to help them understand those characters, their behaviors that they have. Okay, so that is authentic assessment of the affective domain. Next slide. We have here the 3 characteristics. So number 1 is real world application. Second one is student centered, and last is observation based. So okay, next slide. Real world application. So class, when we say real world application, student apply the behavior that they learned in a real life situation. Or class, real world application is referring to the behaviors that the student is performed based on different scenarios. Whether it is good or bad, that is the response on the behavior that they understand or they acquired based on what they have learned on their surroundings, their environment, the group that they belong, and even in the school. So that is the real world application, the behavior that is being performed in real life scenarios. Okay, next one is the student centered. It promotes self-reflection and personal growth. Okay, when we say student centered, the student itself is doing a specific values he learned. Okay, it is something that the student learned in for example, in the classroom, that no one told him to do. For example, he learned to be a nice person to other people. So when he saw someone who needs help, he will give his hand to help that person. So that is the behavior that he learned and performed in real life. So no one told him to do that kind of character, but he decided to do it by himself. So that is the student centered. Next is the observation based. So observation based, this time the teacher is the one who observe the characteristic and behaviors of the student in the classroom. And by means of observing, the teacher will understand the different behaviors of his students and will understand and plan on what approaches he have to do in order to develop and enhance their behavior towards facing different challenges and things or events in life. So that is observation or observation based. Okay, next slide. We have here an examples of authentic assessment of the affective domain. So we have here journals and reflections. First one. Have you experienced writing journals and reflections? Okay, very good. So, by means of writing journals or reflection, you express yourself by means of writing, right? Okay, so by means of writing, you can say whatever you want, and you can say what happened within a specific time, or for example, what happened to your day, or what challenges you experienced that day, and how did you manage to respond to that specific scenario. So that is journals and reflection. It is expressing personal experiences and emotions. Next one is self and peer evaluation. When we self-evaluation, you are evaluating yourself. For example, the journals and reflections that we already mentioned. By means of writing those memories or those experiences in your past, then suddenly you check it, then you will observe and understand that this is how you respond to a specific scenario. And for that, you will come up to the idea on what is the possible things that you have to do in order to make it better or to become a better person, unlike what you did last time. So it can be a positive or negative. Okay, so that is the self-evaluation. You evaluate your own behavior and attitude. And peer evaluation, when we say peer evaluation, we have here two persons that is tasked or that observe each other. So in this kind of evaluation, you are looking to each other's behaviors. Okay, someone is observing one another. So by means of observing one another, you will notice the behaviors that a person can find to himself. Okay, so hindi naman palagi na pansin natin kung ano yung ginagawa natin, di ba? Kaya yung peer evaluation is malaking tulong siya para mas makalala natin at malaman natin yung sarili natin by means of their point of view or their view based sa nakikita or sa nakikita niya sa atin. So that is the peer evaluation. Yan ay vice versa. So observation up to person to each other. So that is the self and peer evaluation. Next one is role playing and simulation. Role playing and simulation help us to experience different personality or different characters. We can be a mother, we can be father, we can be siblings or whatever, as well as we can be a teacher, a leader, and anything that a character, that anything character, what you want and what you need. Okay, by means of experiencing this kind of characters, you are exploring different, let's say, different fields on what will you do if you are in that situation that you are a teacher or you are a leader. So in this case, you will help yourself evaluate on how will you react in a different situation where it is differ from your real self. Okay, so it will help you to explore different behaviors and understand what will you do or what is the proper way to do in order to respond in a specific situation. So that is the role playing and simulations. Last is the class observation. In this part, the teacher is the one who monitored the students within the classroom. So as we said earlier, he should observe the different behaviors of his students so that he will understand and know their needs or what are the things to be improved based on the characters, the behaviors that his student is expressing. So it is important for the teacher to understand his students, so that we will help them to develop their values, their beliefs, and to help them to be a better person. So that is the example of authentic assessment of the affective domain. Now we have here the affective target. Okay, as a teacher or as a future teacher, we have to keep in mind that all our all our expression, our movements is being watched by others, especially our students. So it means we have to be mindful and be careful to our expressions on on uh, on uh, communicating with others, as well as responding to a different scenarios or situation, because they see us, or the students see us as their role model. So whatever they can observe to us, they will emit it or follow it, and thinking that it is good or it is a proper way to do, since your students saw it to you. So we have to be mindful to our actions, because all our actions all our actions will help, or yes, will help the students to grow and develop. So to help them do that, we have to act accordingly and be professional, and as well as to stand for them as their second parent or guardian. So we have to be we have to be um, we have to see or focus to our expressions and movements. Okay, next slide is attitude. So as we all know, we have different attitude. Somehow we can react in a situation positively, and some other times we can react negatively, depends on the situation. So sometimes we can feel happy, sad, mad, or anger, and sometimes surprise, and whatsoever. There are a lot of attitude or emotions that we can express that is reflect that will reflect to our thinking and heart, because it is our emotion is connected to our thinking, our mind and heart, because it will reflect how you feel and react in a different situation. So that is the attitude. It is visible when we perform it, or when we show it physically to other people. So yeah, that is attitude. So we have here 4 components of attitude. Number one is cognition. Okay, when we say cognition, it is referring to your mind. What you have learned, what is your beliefs, what is your perception on different things. So cognition is referring to how you understand specific scenarios, and this will help you identify the good and bad in different things. So cognition is not related to the feelings, but it is your understanding on and or how will you understand things in your surroundings. Okay, so that is your thought, that is your idea, that is cognition. Okay, number 2, affective. It is referring to your feelings, such as the fear, likes, anger, and the emotions that I already said earlier. So that is the feelings and emotions that is being performed or showed to other people, that other people can see to us. Okay, that is affective. Next one is behavioral intention. When we say behavioral intention, you have an attitude or idea in mind that you have a, for example, you think something that is good, and for the behavioral intention, you have to perform it physically, so that you will see the intention. Okay, for example, cleanliness is important to you. So because in your mind cleanliness is important, what will you do is clean your surroundings. Why? Because cleaning and maintaining the cleanliness of your surroundings, meaning it is important to you. Okay, you see an importance of cleanliness to your surroundings. So that is the behavioral intention. You think something and then you take an action to do it. So that is the behavioral intention. You have the idea in mind, and now you are doing, or you are practicing it basically on what will you do to fulfill that idea you have to yourself. So that is, behavioral intention. And number 4, evaluation. Evaluation is referring to your understanding of knowing the degree of goodness or badness of something. You may ask your teacher, "Ma'am, how will I know if something is good or bad?" Okay? So, knowing good and bad requires you to think carefully and use your heart to understand or to weigh everything if it is good or bad. Okay? So your beliefs, your perceptions is also connected to your evaluation of knowing what is good or right. And another example is when you saw someone who is being bullied in the public. So in your beliefs, you see it as a bad attitude. So what will you going to do? It's either you help the one who is being bullied, or you ignore them. So it depends on the beliefs and perception that you understand and acquire based on the environment that you belong at, or you came from, and based on the group, the friends, the family that you live with. And those will affect your perception and beliefs, as well as your behavior and doing different kind of attitude, as well as evaluating the goodness and badness of different things. Okay, so attitude can be influenced by the social community that we belong to. So as I said, the environment, the community, the friends, the family, and even the organization, different organization, whether it is a religious organization and whatsoever, it has a big impact to a person's mind on their beliefs, or establishing his beliefs and perception towards different things. So attitude is being developed based on the surroundings, that he was in. Okay, so that is attitude. Now let's proceed to the interest. So interest reflects a personal preferences for certain activities and plays a key role in motivating learning. So class, as we all know, specifically for the student with young minds, okay, or elementary students, let's say they have different kinds of hobby, attitude that they are presenting in the class. Okay, so we have to understand what they want, what they likes, and the things that will catch their attention. That is important. So that is referring to the interest. It is the activity or the event that caught someone's attention. Okay, so it is important for us to understand our student, for us to be able to teach them when in need or when time of teaching. Okay, you have here the 4 phases of interest development. So 1, interest develops gradually, and that external support. So yes, especially to the students, yung mga maliliit po, yung kanilang interest is hindi naman agad-agad na one shot na pupunta or makukuha natin. Rather, it is gradually happening, or unti-unti kapag nakukuha or nai-introduce sila sa iba't ibang bagay. They will find themselves curious and interest in a different events, because the interest is gradually happening when the learning start. Okay, so that is the interest develops gradually, and that external support. Okay, number 2, students at different stages of interest development may be from different types of external support. Since we all know that students have different kinds of behavior, they likes. Some of them learn visually, some of them understand the lesson auditory, someone likes to write and whatsoever. There are different kinds of students where they learn they learn differently from each other. So as we all, as future educators or teachers, we have to observe them and think of an effective approach on how we will catch their attention and use those talents, those hobby that they have in order to have a learning in the end. So that is why we are studying different approaches. We are learning about the different characteristic of the students on how we will going to handle it. So it is important for us to understand what they need so that we can proceed to our lesson that they will engage and requires their attention to be focused by the lesson being discussed. So okay, different approaches should be performed by the teacher. Next is triggered and maintain situational interest. Since interest is gradually developed, okay, students may start to be curious and start to question everything in order to understand or to look for the knowledge that they want to know. Okay, so in this case, students are more curious and will do everything to satisfy their curiosity, to answer their questions, and by doing that, it means they want understanding, and when they reach or finally gain those information, they will understand and have knowledge in the end. So that is the third stage. The third stage, or the third phase that the student can experience. The curiosity and the questions are questioning different things for them to understand it. And then last but not the least is emerging and well-developed individual interest. This time, they are not just curious or just asking a question, but rather they are the one who find the answer to their questions. They think, they search, and they do every way or everything that will help them to understand a specific topic or specific thing. So in that case, they have the knowledge, they have the idea on what they should do in order to have the information that they want to understand. Okay, so this time they perform it, they find the answer in a different way. And that is the fourth phase of learning for the student. Okay, do you follow to our discussion? Okay, do you have any questions and clarifications? Okay, if not, then we will going to proceed to our next activity. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so as we did earlier, we do the recitations, right, by means of the banner, so on and so forth, right? This time, yes, we're going to do that as well in this kind of activity, and this is a question and answer wherein I will give you two questions and you have to choose between them and explain your answer. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so this activity is entitled Would You Rather. Okay, are you familiar with this term, would you rather? Okay, very good. Since you have the idea of what is this activity all about, okay, let's proceed to the direction. So I will give you only three pairs of would you rather questions. Then, since as I said, you will choose between one of them and think about the answer. Then I will select random names to answer their or to explain their answer. So I have here a lucky draw for recitation where your names are in it. So this is a surprise, and this is surprise and requires you to think on your own, because who knows that your name will be the one who will going to recite or explain your answer. Okay, are you ready? Okay. So question number 1. Would you rather study alone with full focus or in a group with active discussion? Again, would you rather study alone with full focus or in a group with active discussion? Okay? Now, I will going to select. Okay. So, class, since we have 3 questions, each questions, I will call 3 names to discuss or explain their answer. Okay? So, the first one, that is Lucky. The answer is Cantiga. Okay? Cantiga, are you ready to answer? Okay. Kindly stand up. Okay. Again, would you rather study alone with full focus or in a group with active discussion? What is your answer, Cantiga? Okay, very good. You may take your seat. Okay. He said that he prepares to study with a group with active discussion. Why? Because he find it more efficient to study because he have his friends to help each other to understand the lesson. So very good. That is on point, because active discussion will help each of you understand the topic, and syempre nagkakaroon ng brainstorming when it comes to identifying the true meaning of a specific topic. So very good. How about next one? Okay, next one, Katan. What is your answer? Ang mag-aral ng mag-isa o yung may kasama na may active discussion? Okay, very good. You may take your seat. So, tulad ng sinabi na nauna kanina, ni, sino ba to? Ni Cantiga, gusto niya rin na may kasama. Magkaibigan ba kayo? Okay. So, okay. They are friends. So, mas okay or mas prefer nila na nag-aaral sila ng magkakasama rather than na mag-isa sila. So, very good dahil natutulungan niyo yung isa't isa para matuto. Next one to answer for number 1 is Borja. Okay, Borja, kindly stand up. So, what is your answer? Okay, very good, Borja. You may take your seat. So, kasi siya naman ay naiba. He prepares to study alone rather than study with group. Okay, why? Kasi mas nakaka-focus siya na mag-aral na siya lang mag-isa. As we all know, we have different prefers na pag-aaral. Some of us wants to study with others, some of us wants to be alone. So it depends on how you react or respond to a scenario when you require to choose between the two. So both are valid when you want to learn, because we have different approaches in terms of learning, right? So being alone sometimes, or being alone, help us to study by ourselves, and as well as with groups when we have an active discussion towards other people. Okay? So, very good. Number 2 question. Would you rather be highly interested in the subject but struggle to learn it, or find a subject easy but have no interest in it? Again, Would you rather be highly interested in a subject but struggle to learn it? Or find a subject easy but have no interest in it? Okay, the first one to answer is Kore. Okay, Kore, can you stand up? Okay, very good, Kore. So, sabi niya, mas gusto niyang mag-aral, aralin yung bagay na interest or may interest siya kahit na nahihirapan siya dahil nakikita niya yung challenge, and kapag nakuha niya na yung answer or natutunan niya na yung isang bagay, nafe-feel niya yung fulfillment or success na even though mahirap siya, mahirap yung bagay na gusto niya matutunan, at least in the end, natutunan niya pa rin, and at the same time, nag-enjoy siya dahil doon sa learning na nakuha niya. So he rather choose to be interested in a subject but struggle to learn it. Kasi sa huli naman, kapag nag-aaral ka, matututunan at matututunan mo pa rin ang isang bagay. Gano'n naman ito kahirap, basta may mahusay na magtuturo sa iyo. Okay. Next one to answer is Bunyo. This is the second one to answer the question number 2. Okay, Bunyo, what is your answer? Okay, very good. You may take your seat. Okay, parehas lang kay Kore kanina na mas gusto niya daw na aralin yung bagay na interesado siya kahit mahirap. Okay, kasi dahil yun na yung nagpapasaya sa kanya na kahit mahirap, okay, gusto niya pa rin matutunan. And last but not least for the question number 2 is, sino kaya ito? Albarido. Okay, Albarido, what is your answer? Okay, so very good. You may take your seat. Okay, yan din. Gusto niya din na gawin yung bagay na nahihirapan siya pero interested naman siya. Okay, very good, because yung mga answers niya is valid and my point as well. Kaya, yun. So, let's proceed to the last question. So, tatlo. We have here 1, 2, 4. So, may isa sa inyong swerte na hindi matatawag. So, sino kaya yan? So, the first question, the third and last question is, would you rather to always feel excited to learn but have little free time? Or have plenty of free time but find it hard to feel motivated to study? Okay, the first one to answer is you, Gossip. Okay, Candy, stand up. What is your answer? Okay. Oh, wow. Very good. So, he said that mas gusto niya yung ma-feel niya yung excitement na matuto kahit na maliit yung free time niya, dahil on point yung sinabi niya, dahil kahit maiksi yung oras, kapag gusto mo yung isang bagay, unti-unti mo siya maiintindihan at matututunan. Okay, very good. Kahit na may mga pagkakataon na nagiging busy tayo, kapag gusto nating matutunan yung isang bagay, is matututunan at matututunan natin yun dahil nga rin sa gusto natin siyang matutunan. So, very good. Next one. How about you, Kongreso? What is your answer? Okay, very good. So, parehas nga lang din. Ayun yung piliin yung last part, okay? Na you feel excited to learn but have little free time. Kasi nga, matututo ka pa rin, okay? Tama lang. Parehas lang ng sinabi ng nauna kanina. And last but not the least ay si Aguilar. Okay, Aguilar. What is your answer? Okay, very good. So, pare-parehas lang naman sila. Na, mas gusto nila yung they feel excited na matutunan yung isang bagay kahit maiksi lang ang panahon. Okay, class. Sometimes, kahit mahaba yung oras natin, yun nga, nabanggit dito sa statement or sa question na although mahaba yung oras natin, kapag wala tayong motivation na gawin ng isang bagay, talagang hindi natin magagawa. Diba? Halimbawa, sa mga school activities natin. Okay? So, there are times na nagka-cram tayo. Diba? Are you familiar with cramming? In terms of doing your homework. Okay. It is because we don't feel motivated when there are a lot of time doing the activity. Okay, but always remember that you have to help yourself to do the activity earlier so that hindi nyo ma-experience yung cramming in the end, because there's pressure. At the same time, the creativity that you can give pa sana is hindi yun makukuha or maipapakita sa gawa mo kung kulang na sa oras. Okay, so yes, at masaya namang pag-aralan yung isang bagay kahit na limited time lang. Dahil nga sabi nga kanina, unti-unti naman siyang matututunan kahit maikli ang oras. Ang importante, excited ka. But syempre, kapag may free time ka naman, dahil free time nga, huwag mo naman din pahirapan yung sarili mo na gagawin mo lang yung isang bagay kapag huli na. Okay? Kasi hindi natin kontrolado yung mga bagay-bagay kapag gumawa tayo ng late na. Okay? So, tayo lang din ang mahihirapan. Okay? Do you understand? Meron mo kayong, do you understand our topic for today? Okay. Once again, do you have clarifications about our topic? None so far? Okay. If that's so, we will going to have a quiz. Prepare 1/4 sheet of paper to answer these 2 questions that I will give to you now. So, direction. Write 3 to 5 sentences for each question explaining your ideas. Provide an example to support your answer. So each question has a 5 points. So the total points that you can get is 10 points. Okay. So think for your answer carefully and then write it down to your answer sheets. I will give you 5 minutes to answer the 2 questions and your timer starts now. For the question number 1, how do a student's attitude and interests affect their learning experience? Number 2, as a future educator, how will you assess and nurture students' attitude and interests to create a positive learning environment? Okay, time is up. Pass your paper forward. Okay, class, I will call this a day and dito na magtatapos ang ating discussion. So, thank you for your listening and participation throughout our discussion for today. So, thank you very much and you may take your break.